Hey guys, Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel, and it's time for another top 10 video. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Anyway, we are going to do a top 10 video with Yu-Gi-Oh cards in them, which is why you're looking at a picture of the 3 Egyptian God cards. It's because I wanted to put them there because they're freaking awesome. Just look at them. They're awesome. Anyway guys, we're going to go over one of my favorite archetypes, and that is the wind-ups. Why do I love wind-ups so much? To be honest, I don't know. They're fun to use, well in my opinion they are, and I just thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to go over my top 10 favorite cards from the wind-up archetype. Now, at the moment, I'm still building that deck, but I have used these things in a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels, which, pretty fun game. If you haven't played it yet, you probably should. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to really practice your skills. And, well, I just really love playing it. And this is actually the first time I've ever used wind-ups, was in this game. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and one more thing. Keep in mind, guys, this is just my own opinion. If you don't like these cards, or you don't like the order they're being put in, it's just my own opinion. If you have a favorite list of wind-up monsters, please put them down below in the comment section, and yeah, let's get a conversation started. I always love talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or just anything in general. Anyway guys, let's get started, for real this time. Okay guys, kicking off our list at number 10 is Wind-Up Bat. Wind-Up Bat is not a wind-up card that a lot of people that run wind-ups use, and I could see why. It doesn't really do much as far as like speed or anything goes, but I mean, it's adorable. Look at it. Well, I think it is, in a kind of a mechanical, creepy sort of way. You get what I'm saying? No? Well, okay then. Anyway, I actually do find this card to be pretty useful. I used it in Millennium Duels a few times to get a shark back in my hand and set up for the next turn. Not the strongest monster, certainly not one that as I mentioned before, a lot of people use. But I think it has its use, and in my opinion, I don't mind it at all. But again, that's just my own opinion. Okay, coming in at number 9, we have Wind-Up Kitten. Another card that not a lot of wind-up players use, and this is actually one that I kind of question, because believe me when I say it, this thing has come in handy more than once, at least for me. This thing, the entire reason this thing makes a list is because of how much use I've gotten out of it, and it's adorable. I'm not much of a cat person, but I do think it's pretty cute. Anyway, pretty decent attack, well, for wind-ups anyway. I know 800's not normally a lot, but there aren't too many wind-up monsters that have a lot of attack power, well, ones that aren't Xyz monsters anyway. This thing comes in handy a lot for me, especially when I need to get something off my opponent's field, and, well, hey, there's always Wind-Up Kitten. Did I mention that the thing is adorable? Okay, moving on to number 8, Wind-Up Carrier ZENMAISTERE. This is the only card on this list that I have not used yet. Why? I don't have it in Millennium Duels, and I actually think the card is banned. Now, I'm not sure 100%, but I read online somewhere that this thing, ever since it came out, it's been banned. And when you read its effect, I could actually understand that. I really could. Because wind-ups, you know, they're only allowed to use their abilities once, typically, when they're face up on the field. So a lot of them have to do, a lot of the abilities and stuff like that have to do with, like, re-summoning them and whatever. But this thing right here can use its effect for, you know, anytime it has an Xyz material. And when you read this thing's effect, this thing can really bust the duel way open. and it could actually be pretty annoying for your opponent. So if it is banned, I could understand. And again, I think it should probably be restricted to one per deck. Why? Well, it would just make windups more competitive in my opinion, and, well, hey, again, just my own opinion, but this card is fucking awesome, and even though it doesn't have too much attack power, it makes up for it by having a pretty damn awesome effect. Alright, coming in at number 7 is Wind Up Dog. Wind Up Dog is one of those wind-up monsters that has the ability to increase its level by 2, as well as its attack by 600. This thing is pretty versatile, and it's not the only wind-up card that can do that ability, but what makes this one special is the fact that it's a dog. It's no secret that I'm a dog person, but this thing could be a level 5 or a level 3. And most Xyz monsters that go well with windups are either rank 3 or rank 5. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. Definitely a must-have if you're going to run a wind-up deck. I know it's not the fastest card, nor is it the strongest card, but it's flexible, it's versatile, and it's a dog. Who doesn't love dogs? Alright guys, number 6, we have Wind-Up Soldier. Wind-Up Soldier is another wind-up monster with the ability to increase its level, this time only by 1, and it does its attack by 400, so it's one of the strongest wind-up monsters just on its own, and it could be even better when it's level 5. Not only does it have 2200 attack at that point, but you can Xyz summon a rank 5 Xyz monster. We'll get to one of those later. Anyway, Wind-Up Soldier makes this list because its attack power is strong. I run 2 of them in my deck, in Millennium Duels, and in the deck that I'm currently building, because I actually think this card is, again, it's a necessity for a wind-up deck. In my opinion, it also could be pretty broken because it can change its level from 4 to 5. So you could use this thing in, I don't know, a warrior deck, some kind of other deck with rank 5 Xyz monsters or rank 4 Xyz monsters. It can be broken is what I'm saying. Alright, next up on the list is the only spell card that's going to make this list. Wind Up Factory. Wind Up Factory, what can I say, is almost... No, scratch that. It is absolutely an essential card of any wind-up deck. If you're going to have a wind-up deck, you need to have at least 2 of these cards. This thing sets you up for so many combos. It's not even funny. And it could be a complete pain in the ass for your opponent too. Because with this thing, I couldn't tell you how many times I was able to get Wind-Up Shark in my hand and summon it on the same turn using its own effect. This thing is awesome. You know what? I'm just going to say it again. This thing is awesome. Alright guys, we're getting towards the end. Coming in at number 4 is Wind Up ZENMAINES. Now, say whatever you want about this card. I think it's pretty damn good. For whatever reason, a lot of people don't seem to like this card. Maybe because there's a little bit of a flaw in its effect, and I can see that, but it's a defensive powerhouse, and if used correctly, it can disrupt your opponent. I run 2 of these in my Millennium Duels wind-up deck, and in my actual wind-up deck, which is still under construction. I also run one of these in my Xyz deck. If you want to know more about that, go check out my deck profile video on my Xyz deck. Anyway guys, this card is pretty cool. It's awesome looking, and it's a fire attribute. I like fire attribute monsters. I don't know why. I just do. Coming in at number 3, we have Wind Up Magician. I do not need to say too much about Wind Up Magician. This thing is another essential piece to a wind up deck. It comes in a really awesome combo with Wind Up Shark, and trust me when I say it, I have used that combo more times than I can count. This thing's got some pretty good defense, and there's a reason that they limited this thing to 1 per deck. Alright guys, crunch time. Coming in at number 2 is Wind Up Arsenal ZENMAIOH. Wind Up Arsenal ZENMAIOH. Oh wow. This thing is actually a very broken Xyz monster. And I'm not just saying that because this is one of my favorite cards from the wind-ups, or probably even cards in general. but I've seen people running this thing in Cyber Dragon decks and basically any deck that has a lot of level 5 monsters. This thing can really disrupt your opponent. It can destroy 2 set cards on the field, and with 2600 attack, it's definitely nothing to shake a stick at. Alright guys, before we move to our number 1 pick, let's get some honorable mentions out of the way. Alright guys, you ready? You ready to find out what number 1 is? Are you sure? Alright, here we go. Number 1, Wind Up Shark. Oh my god. What can I say about Wind Up Shark? This thing is absolutely the bread and butter of a wind up deck. If you're gonna have a wind up deck, you need to be running at least 3 of these. Yes, you need to max that shit out because this thing is going to save your fucking life a lot of times. This thing is, to wind up decks, what Ryan Rayburn, Don Kelly, and currently Josh Wilson were, and well, in Josh Wilson's case, still is, to the Detroit Tigers. It's a utility card. It's also extremely flexible. This thing can not only be special summoned when you normal or special summon another wind-up monster, this thing can either reduce its level by 1, stay as a level 4, or increase its level by 1. Yeah, this thing could be a level 3, 4, or 5. That is some serious versatility. Guys, I'm telling you, if you're going to run a wind-up deck, you need 3 of these. You really do. There is no and, if, or buts about it. This thing will make your wind-up deck so much better. I can't count the times I've summoned ZENMAINES, Giga Brilliant, wind-up Arsenal ZENMAIOH, or Ardius the Armageddon Keeper, or whatever the fuck it's called. I've summoned all that many times because of this card. Yeah, this thing is absolutely badass and well deserving of my number 1 spot. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. What are some of your favorite wind-up cards? Whatever they are, put them down in the comment section below. I'm very curious to know. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for anything and everything. Until next time guys, I'm Justin Crumley, and this is Cujo Productions, signing out.